Hello, welcome to episode 92 of the Craft House Magic podcast. My name's Ellie and I'm coming to you from Norwich in Norfolk in the UK, and today is the 20th of November. So welcome everybody. I hope you've all had a lovely couple of weeks since last time I've spoken to you, and I'm here to share all the things that I've been making since the last podcast. And it's actually been 2 weeks because I missed last week, I'm sorry, because I wasn't very well, but I'm back on track now, so hopefully the episode will go alright with me having a week off. And actually I'm recording one day early, but this won't go up till Thursday anyway, because we're going to the Harry Potter Warner Brothers tour in Watford tomorrow for Adam's 40th birthday, so that'll be exciting. I will be taking some footage, but I'm going to be saving it for the Vlogmas videos, so that if I have a day where I haven't got much to show you, I'll pop it in there. So that'll make my life a little bit less stressful when doing Vlogmas for this year. So you can find me on Instagram, Ravelry and Facebook as Craft House Magic, and my website crafthousemagic.co.uk is where you can find the show notes for this podcast, and also I have my online shop there as well, where I sell my hand-dyed yarn, project bags, stitch markers and higher knitting needles and all sorts of bits and bobs on there if you like to have a look. So announcements, we've got Barbara's Day out on the 1st of December, and it's at Dunstan Hall, and it's a sort of special Christmassy version where I'm going to bring some crackers and things, so it's going to be fun. But you don't have to pay a deposit, which is good, so I don't have to sort of collect money off people just yet. But we have to book a table, so if you are coming, just let me know via email, either on my crafthousemagik@gmail.com or through Ravelry or Instagram or one of the other social medias. I'm less likely to pick up Facebook messages because it comes up weirdly on the app and I sometimes miss messages, so it's probably best to email me really. But if I answer, you know that I've seen it, so oh dear. Anyway, so the Barbara's Day out is the 1st of December at Dunstan Hall at 12 o'clock, and there are more details on the show notes as well as on the Ravelry group that's for Barbara's Day out as well. But it'd be lovely to see you if you can make it. That's just outside of Norwich. So we have the festive craft along going on at the moment. So in the Ravelry group, we're chatting along about all the things that we're making that are festive related, anything to do with gifts or anything to do with a festive season at all. Any tenuous links really. It's a good laugh to share things like that, so lovely to hear what you've been making, and we've got a lot of things that have been posted up there already, so lots and lots of inspiration, and I'm a little bit behind on the thread, so hopefully today, once I finish the podcast, I'll get up to date with it. So today we have some knitting, some crochet, some sewing and some confessions. So quite a simple one this week, but I have got quite a bit to show you within the little sections. So knitting first. I have a finished object. Are you ready? And it is the Starflake by Stephen West, and that's how it looks. I am so pleased with how this turned out. I have blocked it, and it is much bigger than I expected it to be, even though every time I knit a shawl and I block it, it always surprises me quite how big they come out. So since the last podcast, I think I've done I think I got to about there maybe, so I've done all the border. So this section here is the final clue of the Starflake shawl by Stephen West, and this first bit I did incorrectly because it should have been garter stitch actually, but because I read the pattern wrong, but it's fine. It'll be a bit different to everyone else's, and I did put a stripe of the coral colour within that grey band because I felt like it might be too big, because I wanted to make sure that I did all those extra rows. But I'm really pleased with how that looks, because I think that balances it out nicely, and the edge is an I-cord bind off, which is lovely. I really love how it alternates sort of 2 rows of each of the 2 colours. I love this shawl. So there are several ways that I could wear it. I'm actually quite surprised how nice it looks worn in the sort of traditional shawl sort of way. I can turn around and see if you can see. Hopefully you can see. I've no idea if you can see or not. But I thought that actually if I put a shawl pin there, that sort of keep it, and it's kind of a poncho type of shape then. So I could wear it like that. or I could use my normal technique of putting it around my neck to the front. Hopefully I don't mess this up when I'm camera. So, like this. And I still think you can see how lovely it is. That's really pretty. I love these eyelets, and it's so nice that you can see those on the front if I wear it like this. And these end bits are nice and long so that it's not going to come off as I'm wearing it. So I'm really pleased with how that's come out. I did put some Instagram pictures on of it blocking on the floor if you want to see those. But I love it, absolutely love it. I'm looking on Stephen West's patterns to see if I could cast on another one, but I haven't decided which one yet. But I have another cast on in mind, which I'm going to tell you about after I've gone through the rest of my whips, which is only one actually. So my next project, oh, I forgot to say, oh, silly me. So the yarn that I'm using is my own hand-dyed yarn, and it's my merino nylon base, and the coral colour is Nobody Does It Better, and the bluey grey colour is Ordinary World. So that's all in my hand-dyed yarn, and actually this next project is my hand-dyed yarn as well. So I'm obviously, when I'm busy working, I'm thinking up ideas of what I can make with my own yarn. So my work in progress at the moment is my antler cardigan, and I'm showing you the back here. And I have done the main body and the sleeves, and I've attached them at the yoke, and I've just started doing the cable section around the neck. You can see how that's coming along nicely already. I have yet to obviously knit the yoke bit, do the rib round the neck, and then pick up stitches. This is the front of the cardigan. Pick up stitches either side of the front there. And also when I've finished, I need to graft these stitches together under the arms as well. So in crochet section, I have my Nature's Walk blanket. So I have been working really hard on getting all the squares done for the main body of the blanket, and there's supposed to be, I think, 48 squares that are in the pattern that you're supposed to have done, but I decided that I needed to use up all my little scraps of the colours that go in the centre of the blanket. So that there are 6 colours for the centre of the blanket, and then there's a contrast colour that you're supposed to crochet them together with and do the borders as well. But I used up all that I could of the centre square coloured yarns so that I didn't sort of waste too much. So I ended up with sort of between 2 and 8 grams of each of them left, so I've not done too bad. And I did weigh all the scraps that I had left, and I've got 28 grams left of the 6 colourways, so I'm very pleased with myself. So I have taken some pictures, and I'm going to put them up here of what the squares look like laid out in the order that I think I'm going to join them together in. Actually, I might take some video footage actually, so I'll put that here now. So this is how my blanket's looking so far, laid out on the table. The plant's been evicted onto the side. I've tried to lay them out in a way that they're quite a balanced colour scheme. But I loved doing all those squares, and I'm really excited to get them joined together. This is one of my favourites. You can see, actually this one was the tension square, and I've included that in my final blanket as well. There we go. So I did some extra squares for each of the colours, whatever I could make really. I did notice that I was a bit of a tight crocheter, but over the time as I was crocheting more and more squares, I have got slightly looser, so I'm hopefully going to be able to block those out all to the same shape, and then start joining them together, which is going to be very exciting. So I did make a couple of changes to one of the blocks. So this one was the buds block, which I actually only did one of because I wasn't so keen on the texture of these little knobbly bits. I can't think what they were called, but I changed them for popcorn so that it looked like this, so they're a little bit more not sticky outy. So actually I think because I did that change, I used less yarn than the pattern sort of suggests that you might use. So I ended up having more yarn left so I could make extra squares of this colour. I think I ended up making 4 extra squares of the pink. Most of them I ended up doing 1 extra square, but a couple of them 2, 1 3 and this one 4. So obviously I've been able to make an extra 12 squares, which was very good, and it's actually the size of my coffee table, so that's brilliant. Nice and big. I was a bit worried that because it's 60 squares I'd have to do it 10 by 6, that the 6 squares wouldn't be wide enough, but actually it really is. Plus I'm going to be doing some border on the outside as well. Because I've done more squares, I may use more of the border yarn. There may not be enough, but I can always order another skein or so off the internet, because it isn't hand dyed. It should be quite a close match for colourway, so I'm not worried about that. And I may get it all crocheted up with the same amount of yarn anyway, because I did have that much extra to make all these extra squares. So there we go, that's my crochet section. So I got the kit for the blanket from Black Sheep Wools, and the original colour scheme, there was a couple of slight changes, but if you go to the Black Sheep Wools website, I'm sure it'll explain what the changes were. They were very subtle changes, apart from this pink, which was changed to quite a bright pink, but I managed to get hold of a few skeins of this colourway from another website. I think it was Gillian Glad Rags. So if that's it for my crochet blanket, let's go on to the next section, which will be sewing. So I'm going to link in to the bit where I was talking about my trip to Harry Potter, and I've made, Adam and I, matching bags. Matching knitting project bags, so that we can obviously visit Harry Potter with a very Harry Potter themed bag. This larger one is going to be mine, and Adam's got a sort of sock size one. I did actually make the sock size one slightly larger than my normal size bags, just because I wanted to have that the pattern showing on the front. I only fussy cut the front panels. The back panels, they're just all over the shop, because otherwise I'd be wasting loads of fabric. I'm not going to be supplying this fabric in my shop because of copyright issues, I'm afraid. So if you do ask me to make some, I really can't supply any through my shop really. But I did make a couple for me and Adam, and I lined it with some black lining because I think that goes well with Miranda's map fabric. I picked this fabric up from the Festival of Quilts in August, and I left it right up until this weekend to make the bag, because it was planned for us to go to Watford with. Oh dear. So I have to cake my yarn up ready to do my shawl, my changes to air cases shawl. And that's ready to go tonight. So I'm very excited about that. So that is my first of my sewing projects. I do have a couple more to show you. Now, Barbara's been absent for quite some time, but she's going to come and say hello today. Come on, Barbara. So welcome back, Barbara. So Barbara is my dressmaking mannequin, and she is showing you the top that I've been making over the weekend. So this pattern is the Cocoa by Tilly and the Buttons, and it is the funnel neck version. It isn't actually modified from the pattern, you can just choose that from the pattern, but I did make some modifications into the choice of size over the shoulders, waists and hips, but I keep using the same body pattern now that I know that it fits me. I basically just went up a couple of sizes on the shoulders so that it fit me on the shoulders nicely, and then made sure that I got plenty of room around the tummy area. So it is the standard pattern really, though, once that I'd made those modifications to the body. I really like this pattern variation where you have the little cuff turned up, but you can have a full length version if you want it to be. And it's just going to be a lovely staple for my wardrobe, especially autumn and winter. It's lovely and sort of plain, so it'll go with lots of things. Pair of jeans probably, the usual thing that I wear. So the fabric was from Watson and Thornton in Shrewsbury. It's the town where my parents are from, so I quite often pop into the fabric shop there, and they do some nice jersey fabrics. They have a website, but they don't always list all the jersey fabrics on the website, but it is quite a nice place to visit if you are ever in Shrewsbury. Now, make number 2 I am actually wearing, so I better take off my Starflake shawl to show you my other version that I made over the weekend. So this one is also a cocoa, but I did do the plain neck, but I made a modification on the neckline. So the normal cocoa pattern just has a folded over neckline which you top stitch, but I don't really like that finish, so I drafted my own neckline, and how I calculated it was I basically did 90% of the length of the cowl pattern, because I knew that it needed to sit flat against me rather than sticking up. So I did 90% of the length, and then I just obviously made it narrower so that there was only, like, I think it was 1 centimetre. Yeah, about 1 centimetre sticking out. So you want to have 2 lots of seam allowance and 2 times that centimetre for the width. So that's how we worked it out. I did the same rolled up cuffs, which I just love this style, especially since I'm forever rolling up sleeves if I wear longer sleeves, so I might as well just wear sort of 3/4 there. And I thought it'd be fun to do the stripes going in the opposite direction, and I did the same with the neckline as well. I thought that would be nice. And I should do a twirl. I'm not sure whether you can see me that well. So that's how it looks, and this fabric as well was from Watson and Thornton, and I basically used the same body pattern for both of these tops. It's just that I changed the neckline really, so makes it look like a completely different top. I did try to make sure that all the stripes were lined up there, but obviously it's a bit difficult to line up all the stripes round the arms because they're at different angles. There we go, I'm pleased with those, so I'll be able to wear my 2 tops on our little trip to London tomorrow, so that will be fun. So thank you very much, Barbara. You can go and have a rest now. So I have some confessions. I have got my advent calendar through, and I'm not going to open it until December, but I thought I'd show you how lovely it was packaged. So I have picked up the calendar from Flourish Fibres, which is Fee, and she has got a lovely Etsy shop. I shall leave links in the show notes to her her Etsy shop, and look how lovely she's put little labels on, saying how the yarn's going to be dyed with natural dyes, and it's going to be so exciting. So it's 24 numbered packages containing 10 grams of mini skeins of approximately 42 metres of each of superwash merino and nylon. And it's been hand dyed, and then it gives you a list of all the things that it's been hand dyed with. So Mahonia berries, that probably not pronounced that correctly at all, Saxon blue, ivy leaves and berries, buckthorn berries and bark, logwood, lac, weld, chamomile, indigo, walnut, eucalyptus and bark, mugwort, silver birch bark, alder cones, carrot tops, St John's wort, chamomile, white and red onion skins and dahlia. So there's going to be some wonderful natural dyed colours in there, which I cannot wait to open. But I will wait till the 1st of December. But I just wanted to show you it, to show you lovely Fee's packaging. I have had some of Fee's yarn before, and it's gorgeous, so I'm really excited to open those. So that is my confessions for this week, and it's not too bad because you will always need an advent calendar. Oh dear. Anyway, I shall get on to my last section, which is shop update, and I have a new project bag to show you. So I've had this on my mind for over a year, then I never got round to making it, but this is my stocking project bag. So it's got a handle at the top, so you can sort of hold it or hang it up. But I've decided to put the zip on the side here so that you've got more access to getting inside your bag. And I just popped some yarn in there to show you what it looks like. I've got 4 50-gram balls in there just to plump it out so that you can see what it looks like when it's full. And the zip goes all the way along here so that you can get into all the places inside the bag. And I just thought that was quite a quirky little idea that I had to have a go at. And it has a little jingle bell on as the little pull. We can actually take that off and use it as a progress keeper if you'd like to. But there we go. We have a Christmas bag. So you can get at least 200 grams of yarn in there, and it does fit a cake. I should show you what it looks like with a cake in, actually. So this is what it looks like with 100 grams of yarn. I'll pop that right down the foot. You could probably get easily quite a few of those in there. So actually it's probably between a small and a medium size really, but obviously it's just one size because it's a stocking shape. But there we go. I think I might have to keep one of these for myself. I could even put them either side of the fireplace, and that's where I'll display my project bags. So there we go. That's my new project bag that'll go in this week's shop update. I also have some of the Jingle Bell rock charms back in the shop. So last year I did the candy cane with a red bell as the progress keeper that goes with the sock set, but I've run out of red bells, so I've just made some of these ones with the silver bells that you can purchase as a set with the yarn if you want to. So that'll be available in the shop now because I'd had it just listed so that you could buy the yarn at the moment, but I will do it so that you can choose the charm as well from the shop update onwards, which is this Friday. So last of all, I've just got a bit of an update on my higher needles. So previously I've just stocked the 80cm cables, which is the 32-inch fixed circular needles, and now I'm stocking 60cm ones. The sizes that I've chosen to stock in my shop are the 2.25, 2.5 and 2.75 needles for both the steel and the sharp needles. So now I'm offering the 60cm and 80cm cables. So that's 24 and 32 inches. In American sizes, that's US 1, 1.5 and 2 needles. So just to make it clear, but on the website it says both American sizes and UK in millimetres or whatever part of the world you're in. I'm sure you choose one of those measurements anyway, and it shows both. So I think that's it for today. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you want to see more, and I shall see you in the next episode. Bye!